Welcome back to the AI are taking over.
Yep. Oh, okay. We're talking about this, are we?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you guys think of AI in things?
I'll let Frank go first because his opinions will probably be less nuanced than mine.
Yeah, probably. As someone who has I wouldn't say not a single artist bone in my body, but it's probably just like a wishbone.
I know I'm specifically talking about AI art, but just AI in general.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it kind of like is going to circle back to this because my point is if you're doing it for like a silly, like small gag, like the like Suno website or whatever that people use to make like funny, cringy AI songs. Like when they're just like small throwaway gag bits, they can be like funny. But it's also weird that people are using it for like commercial uses and like companies are starting to use it for commercial uses. That's where it starts to get really weird. I'm for it to a degree, and I sometimes use it for small things like throwaway funny pictures that are never going to see the light of day on the actual internet and are just used for like some small thing or some garbage. But yeah, like other than that, I guess I would say I'm technically in the for it camp.
I'm more nuanced than Frank. There's three types of approach to AI, okay? One is like the meme side, which I kind of agree with Frank, that sometimes the meme of it being AI in itself is funny. I don't necessarily mind that.
No.
But for all other creative endeavors, actual like creating art, creating music, creating like for serious purposes,
I despise it.
I am 100% completely against it.
Yeah.
Because it's
lazy.
It's lazy, but it's also, I mean, and I think people,
uncreative.
I think people will come to realize this is it's literally the opposite of like what all of this stuff is supposed to mean. It's just, wait, this isn't where I want to be. What the hell?
It's probably like what people used to say about people who make music on the computer. Like those people actually have to make the song still anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I can't stand like AI, like content farms, AI art, which is just like, it's completely against the idea of like art as in general. Like art is supposed to be an expression of yourself, no matter how serious or not it is. So like, I'm just fundamentally against that entirely. Music as well. I just think that like, there's just so much that like, it's the one industry like creativity that you shouldn't try to replace. With, I mean, there's multiple industries that you shouldn't try to replace with AI, but it's definitely one of the biggest for me. And it's just like, someone made a perfect post about this. I wonder if Stephanie can pull it up, where someone said like, I was rather hoping that in the future, we would have AI to do the dishes and like the washing and all that, the washing up, so I can do my creative stuff. Not the opposite way around, where I still got to do the dishes and all that shit, while the AI is doing the painting.
Yeah, the AI can do the fun bits and you have to do all the work.
The reality is just, the latter is just the easier step that happens before the former.
So I'm super against the creative side of things, and I'm very much pushing back against it. Whenever I upload my own artwork, like I don't upload my artwork to Twitter anymore because I know that they feed it into their AI algorithm, so I don't do that. On DeviantArt, you can press a button to say no AI, like don't even come near it, don't touch it, don't recommend it or anything like that. So I always do that. I'm just completely against it, like 100%. Like I'd be rallying in the streets if there was. There's a third type of AI.
Yeah.
And this is one where the discussion, the nuance kind of goes out the window and people don't really acknowledge it properly. And that is the best kind of AI, which is AI that just assists, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't aim to replace, but to assist, to make things easier, not completely remove the human element, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, it was revealed that the latest Spider-Verse movie used a bit of AI to help with the animation. Like, they still had to animate it, but the AI helped, smooth things out and stuff like that. And everyone was like, oh, I can't believe it, they used AI, we got to boycott them. It's like, well, no, because, like, it's not like the AI made the film. No, it just assisted them and, like, cut out probably a lot of time and, like, just laborious labor that,
And they could focus on the art.
Yeah, because all of this stuff is happening at the same time. There is AI that does assist, Like, when it comes to writing, I'm talking to a few writers right now. And one of the things is that they say, like, I don't want like an AI to write for me, but I don't mind going to an AI. This isn't me, this is them.
Yeah.
To just like brainstorm ideas. Like give me prompts for this, and then it will go, here's a bunch of prompts for this, and you go, and you can bounce off of that.
Have you seen YouTubers come up with like an inspiration tab made by AI? And I'm like, fuck off.
No.
Like, what is the point of being an artist if you're not going to do the brainstorming bit yourself?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you're like in a rut, or you have an assignment to do or whatever, and you just want to get like just throw me some ideas and then work off of that. I'm not against that. I don't do it myself.
Yeah.
Mind you, but like I'm not as against that as it would be like if someone said, "Oh, I used AI to help me get ideas." I'm like, all right, but as opposed to I used AI to write my book, I'd be like, oh wow, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
There is some nuance to the discussion where there are some things that are helpful and there are some that aren't. So I'm very vividly against the creative side of stuff unless it's just like assisting, cutting out the middleman, as it were.
Are we parting the Red Sea?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2001: A Space Odyssey.
What?
It's the big
The space station?
2001: A Space Odyssey where the black block appears.
Oh.
Yeah.
The obelisk.
The obelisk. Yeah.
Or is it the monolith? I forget.
I think it's the obelisk.
Anyway, Link is dead.
Yeah, I'm so glad you just
my God.
slammed into that wall like Mach 5 and you're like fine.
He gets slammed into walls at Mach 5 quite frequently.
Yeah.
Okay, the first time it happened he was in a barrel. It's fine. Barrel logic protects him.
True. Barrels can prevent you from dying, like the Hobbit trilogy has illustrated to me. So we never got to this point in our original playthrough?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
we did.
I literally, like, I looked at the playlist and it was like shortly after beating the plant that ate the Korok.
Alright. Wow, that was just a black wall that I just ran into.
Yep.
Stephanie had a bonk sound effect. Anyway, yeah, so I've given you my thoughts on AI. I'm assuming you want to build up to yours now.
Well, I feel very similarly to you, Liam. And I agree with Frank and you about the memeing stuff. Like, if it's just harmless fun, then do whatever you want to do.
Harmless fun where everyone's aware that it's AI, so like...
But not using it to cheat the system, which is kind of what a lot of AI use is being done for.
Yeah, I don't like that.
My first exposure to it was on DeviantArt. I saw like these hyper detailed pictures, and they were posting like 90 a day. And then I saw a comment where someone's like, "This is AI art," and I was like, "Oh!" And as soon as I realized that, I was like, "Oh no, this is bad.
Yep.
We can't have that."
I hate it. I've had to slowly learn to identify AI art, but I can I think I can identify it with like a 90% accuracy now. But it is really fucking annoying. Where you're like, I just want to see some cool art, man. Why do you got to do this?
Yeah, like I've gotten like kind of good at spotting it. Like for example, Twitch recently did like a Christmas cat emote.
I heard about that. That's a big scandal. Everyone's pissed off about it.
Pirate Software is like a guy that I occasionally see on YouTube Shorts. He's talking about this, and as soon as he brings up the emote, I go, "That cat's AI," because his eyes are all fucked up, and his like the ears melt into the hat, and it's just like, wow.
And also there's the whole like, trying to remove jobs kind of thing. Like, we could just replace them with AI. And it's just like, ugh.
Except you can't.
And also,
Clearly.
I really fucking hate Google AI and everything that Google's done. First of all, the fact you try and look up Google images and 90% of them are fucking AI. And you're like, I didn't ask for this. But also, like, whenever you search something up, it's like, Google says this. And it's like, there's some really funny memes because the AI hasn't fully figured it out. So someone's like, is it safe to smoke while pregnant? Or something like that. And then Google AI, which is the very first thing that pops up at the top of Google, and it says, it is only safe to smoke 3 cigarettes a day while pregnant, or something like that. Or it might have been like alcohol or something.
Should be encouraging people to do it.
It's because it doesn't know.
Yeah,
it's not a real fucking
stupid.
person. It's just like taking like random like shit off the internet. It's like, why did you implement this? It's clearly not like done.
I saw Snapchat had an AI as well. That was like an AI person you can talk to. And so I talked to it for a bit, but it was kind of too impersonal.
It's got to be, right?
And it's because it's obviously following a set of guidelines. So I asked it a bunch of questions so it could do some research and come up with some answers. But it was completely unwilling to take my bait and actually craft an argument. Because I was like, who's the greatest racing driver in Formula 1? It couldn't craft an argument. It just said, oh, everyone's a little bit good and blah, blah, blah.
That's
and I'm
so
like,
lame.
It's so lame.
It doesn't have any edge to it, presumably.
And
I don't want to offend anyone.
Then I also asked a question, which was kind of like a bait question. I said, how great are boobs? and it said, "Oh, you shouldn't be objectifying." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Fuck off!" Everyone can agree that boobs are great. This is not a fucking debatable thing.
Well, that's the thing, humans, we have like a level of edge to us, even if, you're fairly soft-spoken, whereas the AI, they're probably designed to be as unconfrontational as possible. So, like, every topic that could be potentially, like, I think they just avoid it. I don't know. I don't interact with AI wherever possible. I know that it keeps trying to force it down our throats, but I just keep rejecting it.
Yeah, and you see a lot of companies as well advertising AI, being like, "Oh, we've got AI."
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
saw,
like, "Yeah, of course you have. You're throwing your whole business in the bin, aren't you?"
Twitter's latest desperate attempt at getting me to actually interact with it was their AI called like Grok or something stupid like that is now finally free for all users, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
I just feel like it's like a trend these days.
Well, that's kind of my ultimate thought, is like, it's very trendy right now, but I'm curious to see where we're at in, I don't know, 5 years. It'll still be around to some capacity, but will it be around to the capacity that they're making us believe it to be? I'm not so confident. There we go. All it had was a yellow choo-choo. Great. I'm glad. All right, next time on... I don't know. That was a whole episode on AI. Holy shit.
Yeah.